My hat.
It is not your hat. It is never been.
Shit, that's my hat. That is my hat. My bald head. You haven't stolen my hat.
Technically, you stole mine.
She stole my hat. Hello, Internet Land. I am Big D.
I am apparently Baby Dragon. That is what they tell me.
We are Game Pair Dragons. And this week, ain't shit going on. Pale Arc, what's up, my buddy? What is up, my guy? So, yeah, not much going on. All honesty, it is quiet. Yeah, I mean, not much going on. They just released the 3 brand new they just released all 3 of the brand new starter boxes. There's 2 new Underworlds teams coming in, but other than that, yeah, it's quiet. It's all quiet in the gaming front. Not a lot going on. There was a GT this weekend, basically reconfirming what we've heard so far, but not really in a good way because apparently the GT had 8th edition terrain on the table, or an 8th edition amount of terrain. So it really wasn't enough to play 9th edition games. So basically gun lines ruled the day, and it was all a game of shooting people off the table. Apparently a lot of people that were there were very disappointed. One of them was actually on Reddit. I was talking with him. And yeah, they were not overall happy about how the tournament was run by tournament organizers. We did have in the last week, the big FAQ came down. I shouldn't call it the big FAQ, but I mean there's a lot of like news. It's all, nothing's official yet, but there's news going on. Can you give me one of the places? The big, yeah, give me both of them. A big one, actually.
Can you put yours together?
Yeah.
Oh, so is that what that box is?
Yes. Your box is over there. It's over there. Look at my hand. It's on that corner. But there's also this too. Chapter Master Artie, what is up, my man? Yeah. Yes, wow. So yeah, they talked about all the new rules. I mean, there's a lot of things coming down the pipe, but I don't think we're going to see anything major, at least out of GW, until, well, I mean, there's a big reveal coming up, I guess, this weekend. Either this weekend or next week. I have to look at it. Chatmaster Valaric was talking about it. They're advertising a big reveal. And it's going to be for all 6 core games. So, Senator Dave, my man. And as y'all can see, I am finally, now that I have come to terms with my paint scheme, I am finally cracking into my Indominus box. A little late there, Commodore, but we'll allow it. Good to see you this evening. So yeah. So let's start off with our normal conversation. What's on the bench? What's on the bench, Lady D? So what are you working on artistically then?
I have been working very much on Hellchild, Brother Thomas's commission in the style of Sin City, which I did put a teaser up on my Instagram a couple days ago for anybody who's interested.
That's Lady_Dragon28.
And on the 21st, I start the official painting for my other one, as that's when I will have the canvas for it. And that's it. We'll talk about that in a bit.
Okay. What do I have on the bench? Well, as some of you might have seen, I painted and finished first squad of the Omega Watch. I've got one squad of tactical Marines done for them, with the leader having a combi plasma and power fist. And in a 10-man squad, the two special weapons choices being... Huh? Yeah, I pulled out my junk already. And if that booklet's not right here, we have an extra one in the drawer. Yeah, I think that's the starter rules set. It's a thinner, smaller box set.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Let's hear it win. Sorry, I got a little distracted there. Built a with a rocket launcher and a plasma gun. For the plasma, actually for the combi plasma and the regular plasma, what I did was I painted it silver, like a bright silver, and then I used Tesseract glow over the silver to get the neat kind of glowy effect on there. Hello, Phoenix. How are you, dearie? Your aunt just stepped away to grab something, but she will be right back. Isn't it over there in the 40K bin? It should be like a big colorful one that's called No Fear. Oh, here. Then let me just see if it's underneath. I keep everything, and yet somehow I manage to lose everything. I don't know. One second. Let me see if I can find this booklet for her. No, I'm
Pay attention to your
it was right here. It's why it's aggravating because the watch is here. I wouldn't have gone away too far from it. It's the Scouts card. Isn't it just science?
You know, it's
Really okay. Well, you wanted to work on it.
not that one inside there, is it?
It might be. Look at that. That's exactly what it is. I think I put it in there because I thought there was one in the other box. So there we go.
Hooray! Hi, brother.
It is a thing. Love you guys.
Yes,
And
yes, it
Hell
is a
Child.
thing.
Hello.
It's a thing that never calls his mother, who worries about him a lot, and didn't even know about half of the things that are going on in his life because he doesn't grace me with his presence.
My goodness. What an ungrateful monster.
Well, he's a monster. I don't know about the ungrateful part. Anyway.
All right. So now that I'm not looking for the booklet, so yeah, I'm working on my Indominus. I finished the first squad of the Omega Watch. And where's Apollo?
Downstairs trying to forget about it.
Your other mother's just walking in the door, so probably dealing with the Apollo there. We'll bring him up and let him see him, you buddy. So yeah, I'm really happy with the paint scheme I came up with for these guys. I'm also working on a dread for them. The thing about the watch is I want to make sure that they are.
These are non-Primaris, right?
Those are all Primaris.
Well, are they?
They're entirely Primaris. This is the set that they released the Primaris.
So these are all my girls.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, working on my paint scheme. Like I said, not a lot. This has been the big thing I've been focusing on. We managed to get our hands on a No Fear box. I figured with this one starting up a Marine unit, I figured having access to a bit more than just the Indominus box would be good. Considering there's some real winners in that No Fear and Dark Imperium set for basic Primaris. I mean, yeah, Assault Intercessors are good, but regular Intercessors are just as good. And Primaris, the Hellblasters are pretty good. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You are just the happiest thing ever. You think I whistled for you. What? 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 Oh God, dog.
Breakfast isn't food.
Oh God, puppy.
Being attacked.
Yeah, so are we.
You called.
Woohoo! We'll have to take a look at that.
Definitely have to then. But in a second. Pepper had a reviewable message.
I don't know.
And Play Child.
You got it. Don't shoot. Take a look at that. Or if you could do it on your phone.
So dirty.
What?
All right. Also,
What?
what's that?
Oh, Eccleston's return.
Okay. Did you put in a thing or something?
Not yet.
We'll look at your thing in a second there. Somebody's getting their Doctor Who news on, so. Yeah, this is kind of going to be mainly, I think, kind of a hobby stream tonight. We normally have a lot to talk about.
Dragon of the news.
Okay. rb.gy/5L RVQ6. Very nice. Very nice.
Well, I guess I'm not reading anything tonight.
I don't know. Well, sure.
Oh, did you also there? I was
Yeah,
I was going to be putting them over here.
yeah, because she's gonna be sitting and working on the bench there.
Yeah,
That's
that's why I put it over here instead of right there. And had the chair like this. So I can sit down.
COD.
Call of Duty.
Oh, that's what I thought it was.
Call of Duty.
Dave's been playing Call of Duty, so he's having to get back to his painting queue now.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
I got banned for a couple days.
Somebody has been spending a tremendous amount of time not taking care of themselves.
Yeah, she's not the best.
So we wanted her to focus on art and creativity and lightheartedness and get away from negativity and stress.
And that ended up getting the exact other in the blade thing behind it. And I don't know where any of our
Because I only have the one I'm using.
Yeah, we used to have 4, now we've got like 1, maybe 2.
And I'll ask for buying it.
So, but yeah, turned out a lot of stuff ended up kind of falling into that category of stress-inducing. So long story short, had short of a mental breakdown at work on Sunday, where I ended up having a massive panic attack to the point that the manager had to call this one to come and get me because she didn't think I could safely get myself home. I've been off since, and in an attempt to try to keep that from happening again, I got banned from working on any of my commissions because they were stressing me out, and painting because it's stressing me out, and cleaning, writing. Needless to say, for about 2 days, I kind of did nothing, and I feel very, very guilty. And we're working for it. As we've covered this before, that apparently it's common for mental health issues to rise up amongst the hobby, and a lot of people use this as their way of escaping, letting out, the stress, battling with their depression. I mean, this guy here settles with depression, and his way of dealing with depression is he builds and builds and builds and builds and builds and builds. So this is why this man has no building backlog, because that's what he does. This one over here turns to music.
Or drawing. Or reading.
Mostly music that I've noticed. There's probably reading somewhere in there, listening to music. And
I know I've been drawing, which are literally just either scribbles or me expressing my emotions through drawing.
I'd show you the picture that I did while attempting to do that exact same thing, but I don't like looking at it. So, But yes, so there was a bit of an issue. Hats off to Phoenix for being there. She tried walking me through it and giving me some grounding techniques. And ironically enough, this is actually being very difficult for me as well to sit here like this. But I'm trying very hard. And if any of you suffer from depression or anxiety or any of the above, I mean, there's so many different things that people can suffer from, and it's a silent suffering that nobody really knows about. And you feel so guilty when it hits, social anxiety in Dave's case. It's very crippling, and for me, very shaming to feel like I've done something wrong because I was taught otherwise. I used to get my panic attacks frequently, at least once a week, for a bit there, and they got a little bit better. And then Sunday, one hit really, really bad, and I haven't been in public since. And this guy has been doing his best to try and support me and take care of me and make sure I'm not doing anything stupid to make myself stress. But
when he's not home, I'm kind of keeping
it. In my attempt to keep myself from stressing, I'm stressing myself about not stressing. So, yes, as Commodore says, it is always okay to ask for help, and it is always okay to admit that you don't feel good.
One of the things that I've noticed lately in the community, and this is not based on any scientific evidence, this is based on what I have physically observed. As somebody who's in the YouTube channel business in this hobby,
I just kind of go along for the ride.
I have noticed a lot of even big name creators finally having the courage to step up and talk about their struggles with it. And we're talking about channels that are popular and big and have huge fan bases. And for example, if you're an Orc fan, you know who 6 Plus Steve-O is. He didn't produce content for 2 months because he was having massive depressive swings and panic attacks.
Who's up there? What? Who's up there?
Oh, I need to clean them up first. I was waiting for that to be the exact up.
And Winters.
Yeah, I was going to say Winters. Yeah, Winters SEO is the other one I was going to mention. He was very candid about talking about his, which is interesting because, you know, he tries not to really bring too much of real life into his videos. And tries to keep them very lighthearted.
I just don't be talking about it.
Well, and that's the thing; it is difficult to talk about. For longer term fans, of the channel,
We've had
I
discussions.
actually did a video about it. I want to say about a year and a half ago. About a year and a half.
We had a show where we were talking about it.
Because I took a 3-month or 4-month break from producing content. And I want to be clear, that's not to downgrade or belittle what you're experiencing.
No, it's more
what I'm noticing, because I've noticed my own swings lately. I'm not going to lie, guys. I mean, I have been having
sucks.
I've been having my swings as well. COVID and the fact that a lot of us use the hobby to socialize, to be around people, and to get safe. And for those of you that suffer, know what I mean by safe, but having those safe interactions. And the problem is that COVID has made it so that's not as possible. Now you add along to that the
Are you
idea.
wanting to add to something? Oh, okay. As soon as he's done, someone's got their hand up.
The idea that these safe interactions that we as a community have. I guess we do have a topic for today. That's kind of cool.
Hello.
Amazing.
I think that's the thing is we as a community, we're a community that's used to suffering in silence. I mean, we're already nerds.
Well, most of us grew up, well, except that one. I know that I grew up during the 80s, early 90s, where there was a huge stigma about mental health issues. And I don't know, I think before that there was just this huge...
You didn't talk about
it. You didn't talk about it. And so people felt like they were completely alone. Nowadays, there's a lot more awareness about it. But for those of us who grew up during that time where it was don't ask, don't tell, suffer in silence, it's still very difficult. And there's a lot of people that I've met in the community that are my age or a little bit older that still, unfortunately, a lifetime's worth of conditioning.
Heck, there's a macho thing about it. I'm not going to lie. A lot of guys don't want to admit they're weak. And nothing makes you feel weaker than having something you can't do anything about.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what were you going to say, Plague Child?
I'm someone who has been suffering it for most of my life, and school itself can be very difficult because just being at the building surrounded by people can be almost disabling.
Yeah, with the social anxiety portion.
Because I have severe social anxiety, and it can be very difficult because some people will be like, "I understand," and it's like. And
there are people who
do, and there's other people who will judge you for it.
Yeah.
And so then a lot of times it'll make you not want to talk about it or ignore it, which can make it worse. And I've noticed that actually with the COVID thing with school, not being surrounded by those people actually it makes it a little bit better for me. But it's not like that for everyone.
Yeah, see, I'm a social person, and I use social interaction to deal with it. Safe social interaction. I don't have that ability with COVID going on.
We do kind of with the Saturday morning SmackDown crew that allows us to be around people that are not members of this household.
You're right.
PTSD, which hi, my dear brother, we're starting to suspect, given some of the things that he and I have talked about, that I may also suffer from a little bit of that, courtesies of some of my upbringing.
And
let me explain something. When I mention my upbringing, I would like to point out I had a very loving household. I really did. My mom was Wonder Woman. She had to take care of everything. And because of that, that was taught to me, and I was taught that that moms are not allowed to be sick. Moms are not allowed to be depressed. Moms are not allowed to be anything less than perfect. Moms go to work regardless of what's going on upstairs. Moms get up early in the morning. Moms stay up late. Moms make sure the house is perfectly clean and that food is on the table and that there are clean clothes for the children to wear. This was my mother. That woman is really a very amazing woman. Unfortunately, because of that, my mother suffered a mental breakdown when I was 16 years old. She never really recovered from it. During that time, everything got thrusted onto me, which meant I had to take care of
You were forced to be adults far earlier than you were supposed to. And then you go from that to your lovely ex-husband.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about him because that if I do have PTSD, that man is the reason I do. But that is a conversation for another time because I don't need people in here hunting for him.
Yeah, no. But it's just one of those things that there's a lot of sources for a lot of stress and a lot of issues.
Oh, Zidane, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope that at least the stays have been helping you out. Zidane says that he's been in
saying that.
I have never personally done that. There was probably a time in my life I should have.
It's tough.
But at that time, I was a single mom and of a special needs child, so
it's tough. No lie. It's a tough thing, and I hope you get the help you need.
Know that we're always here for you. If you need to talk to either of us and you've got us on Instagram, please, by all means, hit us up. We will happily talk to you. That goes for any of you guys in chat. If you ever need someone just to listen, no matter how screwed up my headspace is, I always have time and room to listen and help somebody else out. Honestly, that sometimes helps me put my head in perspective as well. So just letting everybody know that if you guys ever need someone just to chat to, when everything went down with me on Sunday, there's a member in this chat right now who knows who he is and that he has my heart secretly.
Here, there he is.
He confided in me quite a bit. Heinrich Botha, our dear friend from South Africa, also was a.
I'm very blessed.
I'm blessed with my friends that I have around me and online, that they're willing to listen. I would like to know, mostly because it would be better to understand where some of the zaniness comes from, even though I have very strong suspicions that I am not going to share on live stream. I'm also very much about, people's privacy, because I don't really name names and I don't really talk about what I have been told, because you tell me stuff in confidence, and unless you tell me straight up it's allowed to be shared, I don't share.
I can vouch for that.
My husband and my child are both trying to encourage me. What are you looking for? It fell. If you're looking for your blade.
I'm looking for half the body.
Well, something's foul. That's not a body, that's a blade. Oh, there's the body. I am not going for that because I can only imagine the comment name will say. But anyway, so there's been very much an encouraging me to be more communicative and open, and as we did at one point have an entire show talking about mental health and the hobby, I figured it would be safe for me to kind of touch on what's going on with me.
I think it's safe to talk about it, because I was going to say, there's been, what I was noticing with both Winters and with 6 Plus Stevo and a couple of other gaming channels that I've been around, a lot of creators, it's hard to do this in a vacuum. It's hard to share this hobby that's a social thing when you can't be around other people.
Zidane says that these hangouts have been really good because they've injected some regular life and hobbying back into his everyday existence. He's been missing it, but hasn't really had the will to get back to it. That, my friend, I think a number of us can agree and understand where you are coming from.
Yeah.
Sometimes when your head goes there, it's really, really hard to come back. In my case, it's much easier to hide and sleep, which doesn't help because when I get like this, my dreams get just as stressful. And then this poor guy gets no sleep. We already apologized.
So, The thing is, I don't think mental health does get enough coverage, especially, I can't speak for other parts of the world, but I think in the U.S.,
It's still a massive stigma that
for
people.
whatever reason, it's still a stigma, which is ridiculous, which is absolutely ridiculous, considering we as a country.
What was that? Tommy's response to having me sit in. When we put him on timeout, we didn't ban him. We put him in timeout. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's one of those things that, we in this country have, in the United States at least, we have had some big people, big leaders recently talk about the effects of, the mental crises we have going on in this country, the stigma of mental unwellness, the inability to talk about some of these things. I mean, ridiculously enough. I mean, when the former First Lady talks about having problems and depression because of COVID, because of these same issues. It's stuff like this that makes us have to recognize that it's only gonna get better if we have the courage to talk about it. I mean, suffering in silence doesn't do anything other than just
create more problems.
Lead you down a hole that you may or may not be able to crawl out of someday. This is a statement from, unfortunately, experience. After Desert Storm, I came back feeling like a failure because I didn't have the opportunity and failed my country because I didn't get an opportunity to kill people. Now, if that's not messed up, I don't know what is. And that was how the military programmed my brain. So I spent 2 years suffering in silence.
In elementary school, I was bullied horrendously, and I refused to talk about it to my parents. And because I've been basically put in my mind that if I told someone, I'm a snitch. Snitch is a bad thing to do. It doesn't matter that I'm suffering. It doesn't matter that I'm being hurt. It wasn't until I started skipping school pretending to be sick because I did not want to be in school. It wasn't until I actually refused to go to school. I kept trying to be like, I don't want to go to school. I don't want to go to school. That I was transferred. And then something happened in another elementary school, and I got transferred again in 6th grade. I got severe trust issues with a lot of things. I just did not want to let people into my life. Because every time I let someone into my life, they would use that against me. And I am someone who is lucky enough to have friends, have family that I can talk to now, who support me, who help me through things. What did you lose?
Nothing.
Both my, if I can talk to my parents if I need to. And if I only want to talk to one of them and I don't want it to be a long thing, then they give it unless it's endangering me. And not a lot of people are lucky enough to have someone that they can talk to like that.
Did you get it?
I got it. I just needed to finish chewing.
And I feel like everyone deserves to have someone they can talk to about that. But they just don't get to.
That is why you ended up taking off part of your finger.
I am done talking.
I hear you. I'm trying to kill myself with a razor blade.
Again.
Fixed. Anyhow.
Who's up there? Use the black bottle. Use the black bottle.
Here, use this one.
Oh, you guys.
I'm using the fresh. I mean, it's the thing. It's not talking about it. It doesn't get better. I didn't talk about it for 2 years. For 2 years after I got out of Desert Storm, and it took the cops dragging me off a bridge for me to be able to talk about the things that were going on in my head.
Now, he doesn't have such a problem, and as I grew up in the don't ask, don't tell, yeah, I've been having to get assistance as well.
It wasn't easy. I mean, it don't think it's easy to talk about it either. I mean, it took me a long time to get comfortable with it. I had to just, you were a lot of the reason why I finally became really open about talking about it with people that I was strangers with.
Yeah.
You were.
And I mean, yeah, everybody's got something that haunts them. Everybody has something that results in PTSD or trust issues or commitments. And I love you, Kaiju. Have a good evening. I will bug you later.
Take care, Kaji.
But and nobody's problems are worse or better than others, and that's another stigma that people have a problem with, is that you get it in your head that, well, somebody else has it so much worse, so why bother?
Why am I complaining about it? Because I don't have any response anymore. But yeah, I mean, yeah, good point. Al. I mean,
I can only imagine what that is like.
Yeah. Not everybody's the same. Everybody deals with their stuff in different ways, and
some people,
we as a community.
I was just saying, some people can just be like, well, that shit happened, moving on. And those people scare me.
Yeah. I am not one of those people.
But I think we as a community, it's an important part of this community, I think, because there's they're not just crafters, just gamers on a whole. Because a lot of gamers...
Your brother's a modeler, he's not a gamer. You're not excluding him like that.
He's a gamer. He's not a war gamer. He's a gamer. But yeah, crafters, hobbyists, a lot of us, a large number of us, are in this, again, a hobby. And that's true for really any hobby. But a lot of people are in hobbies for the express purpose of using it to relieve stress in their life. I mean, yeah. I get in maximum build mode. Not even paint, just build. Build and build and build and build. Boxes of built figures that are built and not painted.
I'm not allowed to do
Hey, if it works for you, Zane. I don't get it, but hey, if it works for you. Is that your version of porn?
On its feet.
Is it?
All customization videos sometimes can be very calming for me. Just watching the process.
Yeah.
No, Zane's talking about
Oh,
women painting their toes.
I would have my outfits.
The big thing is that you have to have an outlet. And I think that's why you're seeing a lot more people talking about it right now. Because I think with COVID, we don't have an outlet right now.
Why is the stupid dog fucking crap?
I mean, we really don't. We don't have an outlet. We're stuck. We're stuck in our homes. We're stuck where we are. We can't get out. We can't interact. We can't do what we do. It brings us our joy. I mean, crafting is great. Don't get me wrong. I love me some crafting. But
No.
I want to play me some damn games. What'd you drop?
Like,
And also we have animals in the house that make us laugh. Because of us there.
What do you want?
Affection.
I want your
and to get tangled up in your hair. This, ladies and gentlemen, is why my hair is not normally down.
That looks very pretty.
I have a huge gray streak in the side of my head. I am good.
Yeah, I have silver.
In the name of the Emperor, I bring you love. In the name of the Emperor, I bring you love. And chainsaws. What?
Aren't you gonna give her affection too?
No,
That's what she's looking at.
not my dog. I don't like her. So, if nothing else, right? If nothing else, right now, with the way things are around the world, if I can impart anything to you people, my lovely viewers, we are all in this together, even as apart as we are. So,
I used to go in the middle of the night to the 24-hour places when they were doing the restock because nobody was there. But he was saying that how the only thing that really changed for him is when he goes to the store, he does it right when they open instead of shortly before closing because of the amount of people. And my response was, I used to do it in the middle of the night.
24-hour shops.
Are you comfortable?
Yes, it is.
Apparently, I'm not doing any more crafting tonight.
Seriously?
He to her, you just need cuddle.
This dog, since Sunday, has only left my side when her mommy has called her down for bedtime. Or this one kicks her out of the room.
I don't kick her out of the room. I kicked a big creature out of the room.
Because he sleeps in your spot.
You're damn right. He's a big dog.
We have a pet that when I'm in bed, he feels the need to cuddle up with me, but he cuddles when this one's spot. So when this one comes to bed, the dog gets kicked out, and every time the dog will half lay on me and give those big old doe eyes that only a pit bull can give. Speaking of,
One sec. Okay, he's looking at someone. Hello.
probably the neighbors. As this little itty bitty thing in my lap, she basically won't leave me alone.
She tells me with politics.
There have been times that theft of her has occurred, and she just comes back. And she knows I'm talking about her because I don't know if you guys can see this. You can see her ears. Oh, Big Brother's doing something that's on our attention. Our neighbors are been out and about. They just got a new Doberman, so they've been training this dog, and it does a very vocal dog.
You dropped your lid? Look at that. 3 bikes. 10 troopers. Oh, and just so it said, I didn't like the fact that the sergeants were going to look the same, or if I put a helmet on them, I couldn't have a sword in hand. So I cut some pieces off with some in my bits box and gave the sergeant a different arm and a different shoulder pad. He looked cool.
Zane, those TVs have a little thing called a Kindle Fire or an Apple TV hooked up to them.
Let's get a Roku.
And you browse that way.
My girlfriend's TV just has it.
Your girlfriend has a rich TV.
No, it's
Your girlfriend has a rich TV.
They do have a giant TV that's like that too.
And yes, I do agree, Phoenix, that sometimes our pets are better therapists than real ones. The problem is I have 2 that are absolutely loving.
It drives me insane.
And I have 2 that are absolutely demanding, up to the point where one of them hit me in the face the other night.
Which one's which?
Because I didn't get up in time and she wanted food.
Oh.
Even though there was food in her bowl.
Wasabi?
Yes.
She could see the bottom of the middle of the bowl.
So therefore, the bowl needed to be refilled. So she hit me in the face. She literally hit me in the freaking face.
Just take it. It'll go to the bottom.
I do that often to them. And then her sister has been recently coming in, and I don't know why. 3, 4 o'clock rolls around, and I'm getting a wake up, and I open my eyes, and there's a cat right here. No. I believe Fire Sticks have browsers, yes. You can get on the internet with them. Now, I feel like I should be apologizing to some of you because you probably all here are wanting to, hear what's going on, what's new, and
No, see, that's the thing. You've been in this whole apologizing kick lately. I come home from work, I'm sorry. I didn't move 3 mountains and recategorize the entire Library of Congress while you were gone.
I have never even ever said that.
I can imagine it though.
These are jerks.
Yes, we're jerks. Because we tell you to take it easy, and you're like, I feel so guilty because I didn't do anything today. I told you not to do anything today. I told you just chill. Watch some TV. Listen to some music. Draw for fun and not for commission because you're stressing on your commission stuff. Do silly
I
fun
started
stuff.
doing that, and Heinrich and Kaiju and Mythos all told me to get off the computer.
Oh, are you building the captain?
Yeah. Should I not be building my captain?
You're building the captain, okay.
Yeah, I'm sure you're going to go watch TV.
Yeah. So,
There's part of me that wants to ask if there are actual sites for shit like that, but I don't want to know because I know it's not the furries.
I'm not shaming anyone,
But,
but
to quote Magnus, fucking furries.
keep your shit on. By the way, if anybody hasn't seen Scorpic Lord out of here, if you look at his instructions.
Is that the one that I've been wanting to build?
No.
Are you sure?
I don't know. But I do know that
Oh, that was the book.
Oh my
probably.
God. I
Yes, it is. It is a Scorpion Lord that you want to build so badly.
that I'm going to be doing.
Me. I want to build him just to put a green stuff sombrero on him as a kit bash.
Why?
Because if you look at his instructions, he is
Senor.
Senor Scarpack. I want to put a sombrero and a poncho on him. So instead of if I end up doing my half of the box with the Necrons, instead of doing them in Egyptian style symbolry, I do them in Aztec symbolry.
It's kind of cool stuff.
Zane says don't forget to 3D print the guitar.
Oh, especially with those big long fingers that look like picks.
What's really bad is what I'm thinking of. If anybody has ever seen the movie Road to El Dorado, in the very beginning of the movie, when the dude is sitting there with it and he's going,
no, it's worse because I saw somebody did something like that.
"Ow!" What you do? Thanks, Neil.
I saw somebody did, and instead of thinking Road to El Dorado, I want you to think, what's that Day of the Dead movie where the kid and his grandpa? Coco. Yeah, think Coco.
Sorry, when I think Day of the Dead, I think of Book of Life.
Right, but they might have been Book of Life. They did the head in sugar skulls. I was like, are you kidding me?
And Zane, it's hard for him to take the Necrons when it's a second box altogether. They were only promised half of one box.
So you said that.
Potentially.
Potentially. There was no actual guarantee.
And the reason it's not guaranteed is because I am still not. I don't want to do Necrons. And besides, the child still has to get through. The child took 6 months to do a.
Ooh, Dust Till Dawn played ones. You think this man doesn't need another army? You obviously have not.
Apparently, yeah, you don't know me very well, Zane.
Dust Till Dawn played ones. Scared the crap out of me.
Actually, who was it? Midwinter Minis did an entire. Did like the half of their box of their Indominus Necrons to make them all look like flayed ones. So it's not just to do with not the dudes with just claws, but I mean everything. They did the Scorpic Lord, and they've all got like meat hanging off of them. And just like, that's nasty. I love it. But the flip side is the idea of doing an entire group of, I don't know if I'd have the patience to do it, but seeing an entire group of Necrons done in Day of the Dead colors.
You may not need Necrons, but you need that model.
We may have to wait until it gets released separately or bought on eBay so that we both have one.
Apparently, Zane says if you ever do the Necrons, then you have to do flayed ones.
Actually, I have an idea for my flayed one, for my Necrons. I don't want to do them as flayed ones. I don't want to do them gross. I want to make them look like they're all China dolls. I want to make them look porcelain.
That's terrifying in and of itself.
Hi.
When you already find porcelain dolls creepy.
Hey, I love and miss my porcelain dolls a lot.
The idea of doing an entire army of these, and do it in the blue and white porcelain, like the, like the Ming style porcelain.
And apparently everyone goes, do that.
The other option was to
Y'all are wrong.
The other option was to do them all in jade.
Those would be really freaking cool.
Make them all look like they're made of jade and soapstone.
So there are a bunch of constructs from Exalted?
Yes.
That's what.
which would be the best thing to do it, is to paint them all in silver and then just give them a full body wash in this.
Yes, apparently everybody liked your idea. You should do it.
I have lots of good ideas. I only have so much time, though, in my life. It's bad enough that I'm trying to do a pack of Marines that are split down the middle, half white and half red. Ugh,
That's my husband, y'all. Where did her head go?
I hate it.
Well, that's a bit.
I put the drink.
We'll probably get some good stuff to put that in. Okay, or we can actually use the thing with green stuff.
We don't have green. That's liquid green stuff. That's
But it's not really liquidy, and it's what I used on.
Oh, give it a shot then. Give it a shot then.
Work for me. I have this idea just for a display army that I want to do as a total Halloween theme, you know, like headless horsemen's on a bike, and shit like that. But
Print out pumpkins. Replace all the heads with pumpkins.
not all the heads.
I actually saw somebody did an Outrider bike. They did the Outrider bike as if they were a Legion of the Damned. So it was all black, but there's flames coming out of the exhaust, and the wheels were all on fire, and there was edge highlighting that looked like fire.
A la Ghost Rider.
You know, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, the half and half scheme is actually not as difficult as I thought it would be. Honestly, it's really not. The big thing about it was coming up with the extra details.
Yeah, oh, that reminds me. Speaking of challenges, that would be fun. A Disney themed terrain challenge. That sounds like a lot of fun. So, we of the Game Prep Dragons Dragon Cave Discord have come up with a little bit of an idea. Because somebody in our Discord painted a Marine who looked like Batman. Not wearing a silver, of course, but Batman.
Yeah.
Justice League.
So I said, well, how much fun would it be for us to do like a Justice League-esque theme where we all pick somebody. Justice League member, past, present, future, TV. You can't do Batman. He's already been chosen.
Yeah.
Batman already got selected.
So like Phoenix is doing Wonder.
I'm hoping she'll do Wonder Woman.
She claimed it. She's got to do Wonder Woman now.
I think I haven't decided if I wanted to do Zatanna or Black Canary yet.
He's like the green guy.
Martian Manhunter, I believe somebody got claimed.
No.
Oh no, he was making a joke about that. That's right.
Right.
We'll do him like
There's been a bunch of talk though because
customized neck on.
one person is doing the Kyle Rayner version of Green Lantern, and I'm looking at doing the Guy Gardner version of Green Lantern.
Which is scary in and of itself, by the way, to those of you who know who Guy Gardner is.
Because Angry Marine is perfect.
Like the Martian Manhunter.
Sure. So I thought that I would open up.
Shadow Sicarius.
I am not Kato Sicarius.
Well, then Shadow Sicarius. Being the lowest Shadow Sicarius.
Because I am so not anywhere close to being like him.
Yeah.
So I thought that it would be kind of fun to open this up to all of our viewers, maybe do a video that I can post, or we can post in the next coming days, about how we are going to do this And the question is, what would be the best way to do it? I mean, because I don't know if we should do this as a competition piece. Should we?
We don't do competitions on our channel anymore.
Yes, we do.
We do
And
not.
you can get well, not until the machine's up and running again, because I have medals to give out. I also got really cool things at work that I can use to make really badass like trophies and mugs.
Yeah, I have to get my printer up and working again. My printer is broken.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a bit.
I'm quite upset by this.
Yeah, he broke it. Well, Kato Sicarius being the most Kato Sicarius.
Oh, is that why you had to remove the front piece?
It's broken.
Broken.
Yeah.
Broken.
Yeah, it's broke. The screen burnt out, so I replaced the screen. Well, the screen didn't burn out, I should say. The screen had burn-in artifacts on it, and
Zane just went through this gamut.
yeah, I had burn-in problems, so I had to replace the screen. I replaced the screen, and that lasted about 2 hours. And 2 hours into the next print, it went kaput. So I have a call, or I have an email into Elegoo. Well, that's the thing. The first burnout, that's pretty normal. Yes, I made sure it's plugged in right. It lights up for a moment, and then it turns back off. And it started working right at first, and then it just faded out again. So I have a thing into them. I even unseated it and reseated it. I'm a computer guy. I know how to do that. I unseated it and reseated it, and it's doing it again. So I am angry. So we'll get it figured out. But for right now, I am without a printer. So that's the other reason I'm working on my Indominus box. Land speeder.
I swear to God, those things just look more and more homogeneous with every time they make new ones.
Half red, half white land.
This last page really reminds me of like just an old man giving you a side eye, like.
I'm suddenly reminded of either Boomy from Avatar, The Last Airbender, or Clint Eastwood's character in Gran Torino.
Considering his eye is like ripped off, like the fading over it is a little bit open, so his eye is more like it's very much like Boomy's eyes.
Is it in his fluid?
I happily take it. No, the problem is that I got my Mars, I got the old panel out. The old panel had burning holes in it. So I mean that's a normal wear and tear. So I pulled it out, I got the new one in, I put the new one in, I ran the test. It was all working perfectly good. It all looked fine. I started a print bed, and about 2 hours into that print bed, it failed. But I didn't know because I was running it overnight, and it basically stopped emitting. The board itself stopped emitting. So I'm like, well, maybe it just came disconnected. And I checked the connection, and the connection's good. All right. So I opened it up. How long did the first screen last overall? Months and months and months and months. I got it in middle of April, and I basically ran it nonstop between April and a week and a half ago. I mean, virtually, except for I think 2 days, virtually nonstop for 4 months. And I got little burn-in holes in it, and that looked normal compared to what happens when they get that burn-in. And the amount of hours I put in that thing, okay, that's fine. They're not that expensive to replace. Like I said, it's not the problem with the first screen. The thing is, I put in that second screen, and if I run the test on it, now this is the thing that's aggravating. because I run the test, and the rectangle shows up and immediately goes away. So the screen's getting power, the screen's getting light, but it's not broadcasting long. It starts and then it immediately cuts out. So I have an email into Elegoo. I'll see what they have to say. I'm a member of the Elegoo Mars Facebook group and the Discord. The first screen, I mean, some people have said that they replaced theirs. It takes a couple $1,000 worth. Like I said, I started running it in mid-April. So, you know, pretty much 24 hours a day, pretty much nonstop for 4 months. Nonstop. I would like to think it should last a little longer than that, but the burn-in holes that were showing up on it looked like the normal LED LCD burn-in holes that you get on them. That they say, hey, you need to replace it. Now apparently there's a new generation of those screens for newer printers. And I mean, my printer's only 4 months old. I don't want to have to completely replace my printer right off the bat. I mean, 4 months in. So I'm looking more into details about what I can and can't do. Yeah, roughly, yeah, I got it. With the time I had to turn it off, I roughly got at least 2,500 hours out of it. Let's put it that way. 2,500 hours is not bad. I'm willing to pay $27. Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, the technology is still rather new, and yet the price is going down and down and down and down. So, what's another thing I just had with the Mars?
Everything that was Mars related, I put into the box where you normally keep it all, and then put it under the table next to the flip chart.
Okay.
As I'm over here giggling at this
Yeah,
nonsense.
I heard.
I'm sorry. It's hilarious. If you look at this damn picture, it looks like it is yelling for the honor. I'm sorry, because it's a guy in the picture. By the power of Grayskull, because I'm putting a female's head on it. It's the honor of Grayskull. Grayskull.
Grayscale. Whatever. It's a grayscale. Graces. What? I said graces.
So, well, I mean, that's the thing. My next printer purchase will be an FDM printer, because I don't want to do terrain on a resin printer.
You know, that'd be rather funny. Where's the picture?
Yeah, the thing about doing the terrain on a resin,
Don't make her blonde.
Make her blonde.
Oh God, that'd be hilarious.
It would be. That's why you should do that.
You monster.
Why are you calling me a monster?
Need some zip kicker?
I don't have a flashlight on my phone, actually. I'm telling you, she is screaming for the honor of Grayskull. Because the part of her arm that's the shoulder that's up, there's a sword on it.
That's great.
And she looks like the position looks like she's screaming for the honor of Grayskull.
That doesn't look like a known proportion, does it? That's 3 pieces.
All your instructions. Here's the thing. What I can tell you about the Necrons in that box, according to what Heinrich told me, follow directions exactly. In the order the directions tell you. They will fit, they will work. Follow the directions exactly. Well, then it's fine. I'm just telling you.
Over what the other player of your killer robot says.
Yeah, what I'm doing with now.
Grumpy robots. So what we've learned tonight is that everybody has problems. But
oh, jeez, it does not help that this sword has a fucking skull on it. Really? Look, it's even got a fucking skull on it.
I know. I'm very aware.
Let's see. Apparently, somebody over on Cool Guy who's
Sit at home. Did have some gripes on Indominus instructions. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I've heard plenty of complaints about the Indominus instructions. They have issues.
17C is giving me issues. It's not being corrected. It's like they're going in, but then once it hits the body, it's like those are way too wide out.
yeah, you have to pull them in.
You have to pull them in a hold and place where they go.
If they're so far out, I can't. That made me break me.
Well, then maybe put it down and let me look at it, or not deal with it while I'm on stream.
Welcome to our house.
Somebody just give me advice. So,
Well,
for anyone who does.
Well, unfortunately, I don't think there are any Necron players.
yeah, Heinrich's not on right now. Which one are you doing? Let me look at the instructions myself.
17C of the Necron Warriors.
Okay, so you have
I'm just
B12.
making sure.
So you have. Okay. So I can immediately see here. Are you using 13A or 13B for the gun?
A.
Okay.
I'm only building A's.
Right. So what you do is you don't glue it down until you have it in place. You only glue shoulders, and then you glue the arms. You glue the hand mount on. That's just true of any model. You never glue the hand mount until you got it in place because they've got.
These Necrons, that way that they make it easier for you.
Okay, I'll tell you what. When we're not on camera, I'll sit down and look at it because I have some ideas how to help you. Okay. I understand your frustration. I fully understand your frustration. Yeah, target warrior settlement will be done, and you have a problem with the warden, especially the head. Yeah, and, it's the thing. These much.
I had an issue with the bikes slipping the casing together.
I had no problem with the bikes once I understood that the one piece has to go inside of the other piece.
Yeah.
So you have to put the one side on first.
Yeah.
The issue. This gun has the music that the Indominus box. They have basically they have insert things that you put it together and stuff like that. One of them, the flat side for putting the arm in, is on top. That's how they get it so you can fit it. So it's easier than the old Necrons. The one that was giving me trouble is on the side, making it go all the way over there. So they printed this one wrong.
I mean, I'm looking at the instructions here, and I don't see that at all. So, like I said,
Welcome. That is not where a Necron is supposed to ever be.
That's the correct one. This is the non-correct one. It's the same exact. They're the same exact number.
yeah, they are the exact same number.
But if you look at the little bit right where the hand goes,
It's in the exact same spot on both of them.
but look where the flat is. One flat is on the side, one flat is on the top. It's supposed to be on the top.
Are you sure you cut the right piece?
Yep, I'm
Sure.
I double checked.
Can I see your proof?
Figure out which one.
Look, it's Shira.
Figure out which one is
Putting
on.
on it.
They're kind of sprout between stuff.
It's one of my Sally
Well,
ladies.
just hand me the screw because it's going to have pieces cut out from it. They're going to be right next. All three of the pieces are going to be right next to each other. If you didn't take them off the same screw, that's your first.
He will
screw.
not steal the Necron, Zane.
I'm just trying to remember.
It was one time, Zane.
How many of
One
these warriors have
time.
you built?
I have built 3 of them. I built 4 so far.
Okay, so just hand me the screws. Just hand me the screws.
Troubleshooting in the Dragon's Home. Lots of what the hell were they trying to say?
$13.
Yeah. Oh,
$13.
Because there's a place to get together, sometimes it's very difficult to tell what is what if I did make a mistake.
Yeah, it's what it's.
It's possible. But
Zane says, watch a tutorial, but please, whatever you do, don't forget to prime them. Don't be a victim like Lady D's story.
oh God. Don't worry, Zane.
I don't
They
want
look
theirs.
very different if I prime them.
No, I don't want theirs.
He's got his own.
I have my own. I'm not worried about it.
Both have the same
This is what you need to do. Folks, 13A, okay. Now look for the other one you cut out. There's one, and that's on this screw.
Yeah, I've seen several that are on different screws.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just trying to close them.
Because they're duplicate screws. This is what you got to do sometimes, folks. Yeah.
One box set isn't enough, he'll be coming for you.
Actually, no. If I need more Necrons, I'll be buying one of the starter sets. It comes with terrain.
Also remember, Zane, I have teeth. I know how to use them.
I have pliers. I know how to use them.
Maybe you can do what my dentist can.
As the taker of innocent players' armies, he will pluck your Necrons from your grasp like candy from a baby.
Zane.
You know, this is like going to turn into a freaking, like,
I know where he puts his backlog.
you know what all I'm thinking of is this is like going to turn into a creepy pasta.
Hey, I already wanted to paint orcs.
So it's man, D's going to become
That's all right.
a
Paint your
creepypasta
figures,
meme.
kids. Paint your figures, kids.
If not, the Game Correct Dragon will come for you. If
He will take your figures from you.
Hide your figures.
Each time I finish building a unit, I find it. I need it.
He stopped stealing from me because of the fact that, well, he never hears the end of it. As for that Brood Lord, I don't believe we have Pale Orc.
You cut out 18A, 13A.
Oh, were they right next to each other?
No,
Really?
The numbers look similar sometimes. If
the numbers look similar.
You're fine.
Those the glasses
You
they have
cut
are
out-
not close-up glasses.
Yeah. You cut out 18, not 13.
So I'm going to look right now, Pale Orc.
13's right there.
Can I have my guns?
No. Good mind now.
I would have hurt you.
Hold on, trying to find it.
And remember to do all of them with the same gun. Don't mix guns.
I just said I was going to.
You're gonna what?
I already said I was only going to use A.
Okay.
I want to have to learn the rules for 2 different guns in the same army. If I get another unit of these guys, maybe I'll make it.
Yeah, no, I did, dude. Sorry, I had to get that worked out because, of course, being the master builder in this household, I had to get that out there. So, all right, let me see there. Prime the Minister 1 box, and I don't prime in there. Take your new innocent armies. I don't take armies from innocent new players. I take them from people that I give them another army in return.
What'd you get?
What did I get your mom? What did I give you for those? What did I give you for those? The Stormcast. What army did I buy for you? To split that box, so I got the Stormcast. What did I give you?
Wasn't that the
Corns?
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't I get you those corns? Oh,
sits and waits under your hobby desk? He's the Boogie D. He might come in the night to take your unpainted models.
I will take your.
You are the GW Krampus.
If you're a naughty kid and you don't build and prime your models,
Your mom might sell them on eBay.
you sell them on eBay. I know people who buy them. I'll come take them. Like Nick. Nick knows who he is. Nick knows.
Well, you're not like that.
I'm gonna call him out like that because he knows. He takes forever to paint them models.
But he doesn't really know.
His and down his box.
Oh, that's the okay. So I'm sorry.
I'm gonna visit you.
Pale Orc. I was actually looking up because I could have sworn I saw it.
Yeah.
But that's right. You had that really nasty one that run.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Does not want. Does not want.
I don't want to try painting like him.
He will kill you if you go after his plate.
Yeah,
It's just
I don't have any unpainted Plague Marines. I don't care.
I'm not. I want to.
I don't have any unpainted Plague Marines.
And we're talking about the future. Okay, maybe I'll be allowed to do another
No, I don't.
army of the same.
Did you already build them? Did you
Yeah.
get the ones that were in here?
Yeah.
Remember how we were talking earlier about anxiety and stress and all that fun stuff, guys?
Yeah.
I would like to point out that living with this man does not help.
Sometimes.
See, that's the thing. I'm not allowed by therapy because what do I do to deal with my stress? I build figures.
And then I feel like an ass because I fall behind.
Not behind. This isn't a competition.
It feels like it's sometimes.
It's not a competition.
He gives me shit about
It is not a competition. Because it was a competition everybody I know has already lost.
But you like to point out to us all frequently how you've gotten so much more done than we have.
That's what I'm saying. If it was a competition, everybody has lost for the next 2 years already. Because
I feel either.
I'm in last place.
No, but he is winning.
I'm just
He gives
saying,
me shit about taking too long all the time.
I give you crap about it, but not really. I don't give a crap about people taking. Take your time with your models. I took a while. I mean, let's talk about building and painting. How quickly do I normally build and paint?
Really quickly.
Right. I took a week I took a week to do those 10 guys. I know. I took a week to do 10 guys. For me, that's a long time. Commodore, that's why I'm coming for your Indominus box.
He doesn't have any space mines. I do. He doesn't.
Yeah, I'm actually trying to get these guys built because I've got a bunch of paint projects coming up, and I want to be able to help Lady D when she's done with the projects she's working on, to help her with the assembly so that she can just prime and paint and just go. I have unpainted figures. I have unbuilt figures, believe it or not. Just not many. I have 2 squads of scouts that I haven't touched yet because I want to mod the crap out of them, because I figured the scouts came with sniper rifles. And I'm like, oh no, to get the sniper rifle scouts, you have to actually buy a different box. How stupid is that? So I have to mod all of the shotguns into sniper rifles. But you've got sisters. I'm actually going to get you sisters for Christmas. I don't want your sisters. I don't even want them to little. So you're safe. You just keep building your sisters. And I'll be honest, I'm going to let you know this right now. I have a buddy of mine. You talk about miniatures. You talk about me getting miniatures. I have a buddy of mine that we're supposed to go and see one of these weekends. He wants to come out. He's one of my old school figure painting friends. He wants us to come because he's got a bunch of old metal sisters and some old Marines and a couple of old 40K vehicles that are a combination of sisters and Space Marines vehicles that he wants to get rid of. And so he's like, you know, you're the only person I know that still plays 40K, so you and your wife need to come spend a day with us, and when you walk out of here, you're going to walk out with a box of figures. And I'm like, that's awesome.
Why do I feel like he's trying to bribe us?
He is trying to bribe us. He's lonely. Fred.
You know, the one
in Waukesha I went to go paint fix up that one time? Yeah.
He had them.
I don't know. I got to set it up with him. He wanted to have a couple weeks to try and find them because he knew about where they were. But I have no use for sisters. I actually actively do not want to paint sisters. It's really weird. I'm like I'm not like I don't like the army. I despise the army or anything like that. I have this weird, like, I just don't want them. So.
I half did. Just because I thought they looked cool.
Shut up.
But then she discovered the power
A fire.
of Vulcan. Hey, man. Give me a hug.
I just want to give my big, friendly, big brother a big, I am not mad at you for ruining everything hug.
Why does that sound familiar?
Because that's what Vulcan
Tex-
said to
Tex-
Magnus in Texas Beach.
Beach. All right, so we are after 9 o'clock. So we're going to have a quick shout out to everyone. If you haven't hit that like button and you enjoyed this, found this content entertaining, please, please, please hit that like button. That lets YouTube know that I'm actually producing content that people like. And that'll get more people to come and look at my stuff. And we can share the love with them. Secondly, we have a great number of Patreons. And I am so thankful for my Patreons and the love that they give us. Because, you know, even those of you that just give $1 a month, it's just really heartwarming to know that you find me entertaining and useful enough that you're worth $1. I'm worth $1 for you. And I don't want to say I wouldn't do it otherwise because I would. I still love doing this, but it's kind of like a, D, you do good work. Here you go, and I appreciate it. I really do. So we're gonna quick give a shout out to our Patreons. First off, at the Battle Brother level, we have 2 members. We have the Mini War Mutt and the zaniness himself, Inquisitor Zane.
Yay, Zane.
We have at the Battle Leader tier, we have Heinrich, Necrons all the time, every day, all day, Botha. We have Joe, the Bookman, Bookish.
Who's been a little busy lately.
We have my man, not yours, Down Under Jesus, Kaiju Shorts.
I'll shank you.
And our newest Battle Leader level Patreon, Mythos Kushranada. Now, lastly, we have our Warlord tier members. We have first off James Smash Captain Meeks, who is so freaking busy doing what he does. I feel bad for the man. I'm thankful he's working, and he's thankful he's working, but gosh, we never get a chance to see him anymore. Love that man. Modeling for Advantage, oh my gosh. Restless Kaiser, my friend. Good to see you. Well, we have James Meeks. We have coming in from high orbit in the phalanx. We have the Commodore. We have his lovely co-pilot, the pirate herself, my lovely niece, Flight of the Phoenix, and her dad, the man that taught me everything I've forgotten, Master Modeler, Alex Drake. And it's delicious. So, that being said, those are all our Patreons. Thank you so much. Again, if you are not subscribed, hit subscribe. If you are subscribed, ring that bell. We often try to do some crazy during the week stuff other than our regular live stream. We're trying to get regular content put together. I've got a couple tutorials put together. We have I've been having some editing issues. So I'm trying to get our new machine set up so I can move the files over there and edit them for that lovely 2,000-point battle I had with my man Bad Jack, and between my Death Guard and his Imperial Guard, as well as a tutorial for how to do these lovely sand bases and how to make your own modeling texture paste for 1/10 the cost of buying it. So,
Don't forget the cold porcelain.
and we're eventually going to be doing some stuff with cool porcelain, apparently. We've been talking about it. We bought the materials for it. We haven't talked about it since. But we're going to be doing some cold porcelain and using it to do some terrain modeling. There are some terrain modeling things on the being that terrain is so important in 9th edition. I'm going to hopefully get the time free that I can finish building that Imperial Gate for you guys, and then I can get to how to do a really easy but really wonderful looking armature out of wire for making your own trees to do forest stands for 40K. So why no sand bases? Sand bases are awesome. My entire army's on sand bases. Look at that. Look at that texture. Look at that terrain. Look at them tufts. These are great. These are amazing. They're wonderful. Don't you start with me.
I'm good with my mud.
Zane. But the stuff I'm going to teach you how to make, you can make mud, you can make sand out of it, you can make craggy ground, a couple different things. It's a really interesting texture paste. We'll be showing how to make that. So that being said, I think we have no other thoughts tonight other than remember, everybody, be kind to everybody around because you don't know who's in what headspace right now. Never feel bad about your own work. Be proud of what you create. Always be proud of what you create because everything you create is yours. That's your heart and your imagination and your talent and your skill and your time and your effort and your love. And if we are nothing here, we are spreaders of love. So, remember your fellow gamer. Remember your fellow gamer is not always in the best place. So try to be more forgiving, try to give more love, and try to be understanding. Because this isn't easy for any of them. So, epic your board,
Epic your lives.
and epic your game. I'm Big D,
I'm
Lady Dragon.
I'm the plague child.
We're the Gamecraft Dragons. Thank you so much for spending your Tuesday night with us, and we will talk to you soon.